When I first started practicing yoga, I started at 24 Hour Fitness. There wasn't really like yoga studios around, you know?
Yeah.
This is like, I've been practicing yoga now for 13 years.
And then you've been out in this area?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, so then totally.
Yeah. So I didn't like, there wasn't any teacher training during that time, you know? I remember like the yoga studios around, they were like, I don't know, they were like either Bikram or just like, it was just weird to go there. So I went to 24 Hour Fitness, you know? And I didn't get into like my first experience through like any kind of training until like, I don't know, 8 years later of practicing, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Maybe 8 or 9 years.
But still, it was a while.
Yeah.
Like, I knew right away.
You were going to do it.
Yeah.
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 How did you know?
Like, I think because I just loved the experience so much that I wanted to, like, share it with other people.
Right.
And I was like, how it made me feel, I knew I wanted to do that and, like, bring it to more people. And, like, I'm big on representation, and I think that when I walk into classes, there's not a lot of Black people when you go into the classes.
Right.
And so, like, I thought, like, how cool could that be, like, to have that representation as a teacher in the classes. And then even, you know, being in, like, this little IE area, there's really not that many yoga studios. Even now, it's, like, you know, here and there to find a really good one.
True.
I just thought, like, being someone to, like, be able to bring that in this area was just cool. And at the time I had did my doula training, and one of the girls that kind of like inspired me to do the doula training was Colleen, which was my yoga teacher, because she was a doula, and I would go to her classes when I was pregnant, and at this place called Granola Babies. And that was kind of like my first real yoga experience. Like, I had tried it before a few times, but like, it was really when I was pregnant that I started practicing, and I see how it really shaped my labor, because it was my second son. So like, how it helped my labor, my breathing, my focus. And I was like, wow. And it was like a really dark time for me, and that kind of like took me out of that place. And I'm like, I just knew that was it, and it all worked together. I'm like, I could teach prenatal yoga, and that was kind of like where I wanted to, like, I started was prenatal and mom and baby. And I actually did Ma yoga teacher training before I did my actual 200-hour teacher training. So I don't know if you've ever heard of Ma yoga, but it's like, you know, the mom community, and I did it with Colleen and Jessica, and it was like a great experience. And I'm like, okay, like, if I want to be able to teach there, like, you got to do your 200 hours. And I'm like, no question asked.
Dope. I'm
but
down.
my first training though, my son was 3 weeks. So like, I have pictures of being like in our training.
No way.
Because it was the Ma yoga training, and it was mom and baby. So they're like, you can bring the baby, and he was only 3 weeks. So like, it was one of those things where, one, I was still inside of like the time when I'm not supposed to be exercising, but I knew my body, and I was like, I knew like my limits, and it was like, it was just a training. We really didn't do much practice for that one, so like, it was good. But I remember having him, and then during my 200-hour, he was still a little baby, so like, I was like pumping, you know, to keep, because I would go like, it was like seriously the divine. Like, the teacher training was with Colleen and Eileen and Melissa in Costa Mesa, but I was living in San Dimas, so I was having to drive there. But their training was on Thursday nights for like a few hours, and then Sundays all day, every weekend. And it was for like 3 months. And it was like, that timing was perfect, because I was able to like get babysitters in the nighttime, only have to get a babysitter one day on the weekend. And it just like, my mom and my aunt would help me. They like switched out, like they would switch days and stuff. And because at this time I wasn't with the boy's dad, and he was living well, I don't know where he was at the time, but they were like helping, and he would, if he was like around, he would help. So it was just like literally everything
connected.
Everything worked out perfect, because you know, most of the teacher trainings are like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And there was no way that I'm going to do that. And since I was like the second class, it was like, I think the price was like way lower than a lot of the teacher trainings. And my mom, she like sponsored me, paid for me, or she paid for me. I don't know if she sponsored me, but you know.
Yeah.
She paid for me, and it was seriously like the best decision ever to like do my teacher training. And now I'm like always telling people, I'm like, you should do teacher training just to get the experience, because I felt like it was like I grew so much like as a person through that, and like connected with myself, and like it was important because I was in that postpartum phase, and I was like going through a lot with my relationship and going through a lot in life, and I was like going from being a stay-at-home mom to like getting back in school and trying to like balance everything, and like it kept me on top, like it kept me afloat, and like from I didn't drown, and I think it was really solely because of that teacher training. And like there was lots of tears, like I got really close with the people that were in there,
and I'm sure they helped you out.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, no, and it was like a
village raising a kid.
Like, yeah,
a yoga village raising a kid.
And
wow,
like,
that's beautiful.
I got like great teacher training information. Like I feel like the skill wise too, I had really awesome teachers and who really like knew their stuff. And so like I'm like forever thankful for the experience. So I'm like, I always tell people like, you should just do it even if you don't want to teach.
Right.
But you had a different experience too. Yeah. So it's like
exactly, everyone has their own.
So it is like, I do tell people, I guess I do tell people like, well, you can go where I went, or I offer them, like I tell them like Michelle.
For sure.
And they're, oh my God.
United Yoga.
Like I want to do their teacher training just because I know that the experience that those students get is just probably so monumental. And, like,
right.
So yeah, like
Jordan Smith.
Hi.
Little story real quick.
Yes.
Thanks for coming through to like chat and geek out on some yoga.
Yes, of course.
I'm like that 3 or 4 minutes right there like really just inspired me already. So I have a ton of questions to follow up with everything that you just said, because that journey is amazing. Okay. And you raised a kid in a yoga village.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so awesome. You also mentioned like being African American and representation and all that. What are your thoughts on like that initially when you were first getting into the field, and what is it like now because you've been in the game for a while?
Well, I feel like it's hard to go. I mean, it's hard to be a Black person or a person of color, sure. You know, just in general. And so like when you walk into a space and there's like not a lot of people who look like you can kind of like have some kind of like barrier up, and you have to like be on, or like there's like these certain expectations, and it is interesting because I'm going on a tangent, but like, you know, being a Black person who does yoga and people know that, then people have like a certain like, you know, expectation of you in that, because you get kind of like categorized by, you know, your stuff. But
like what? Like being the athletic girl? Or?
Well, or just like I'm like a hippie type, you know, like I'm sure people would expect me to have locks and stuff, and I mean, right. And I do wear the head wraps, and like there's certain things that are true about it, but I feel like I'm still like, you know, a regular person, just like, you know, people are like, oh, she does yoga, like you're like, I don't know, you kind of get like outcasted. But I really think that because there's that mental aspect in yoga that we get, you know, that mind, body, spirit, like connecting to your spirit, that I think in the Black community is something that's like not really addressed and looked at, or like you're like just having the mental illnesses like aren't spoken about. And I think having yoga is part, like people think it's that, like it's slowing down and like you're doing meditation, and so people like disconnect from that. But I think being able to like be a representation of like, I have all these different hats that I wear, and like how amazing yoga is, even for, you know, in like Black people could benefit so much from it. I mean, really everyone, right. But just being that representation in the classes is like what's been important for me, and trying to bring people in, because I think when you start yoga, somebody tells you about it, or you see somebody that you know in there that's gonna kind of like spark your interest.
Sure.
So if I'm being that representation and I'm getting my friends who have that stigma of like, oh, it's yoga, like I can't do that, like I don't want to slow down, then you start seeing more people in the classes, and then like they're seeing pictures of people who look like you're like, oh, well, maybe I can do that.
Or she's doing it, she's representing.
Exactly. And I think that, you know, since I'm immersed in it, I do see like a lot of Black women who are so like, I look up to. I'm like, wow, like I wish I could be like, you know, like I can get to that level of like platform to inspire so many women to do yoga, Black women to do yoga, or Black people to do yoga. And so, I mean, I'm starting small with just my community, but I think it's like, it's really something that it's important to have like that full rounded yoga, you know, yoga, like to like unite everyone. So
exactly. And do you feel like the love, like did you feel the love right away? I'm sure you did. You kind of mentioned it with your kid and all that in your teacher training, but like as being an African American woman coming into yoga, like did you feel like you fit right in that sense?
I did. But I do have moments where I'll walk into class and I'm like, you know, I kind of do feel like I don't really fit in.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, at the same time, I'm there. I'm not there for everyone else. Like, I'm there to, like, for my practice to deepen that. And so I'm able to, like, kind of remove myself from that insecurity.
Right.
But I definitely do, like, I'll think, like, to myself, like, is there going to be any Black people there? And, like, when I do see a Black person, I'm, like, so excited because I'm, like, yes, I see you. Like, I see you.
Yes.
And so, like the other day I was in class and there was, like, I was, like, one of 3 Black people over, like, 6 people class. And I'm, like, wow, I'm, like, this is amazing. Like, how cool. This space is, like, so awesome that, you know, it's, like, so inclusive. And so I definitely do have those insecurities sometimes, but
and
I'm
likewise,
able to, like
when I first came into the game, like being a male,
I was gonna say for sure.
And I had all these like generalizations I think that people thought of me, but I think really that was just me, like battling that myself, you know, and worrying about it when I shouldn't really be worried about it, because in the yoga space, like it's love, it's acceptance, and I felt like, wow, it doesn't matter, you know, that I'm one man out of like 34 people in the group. You know, and I'm a person of color.
Sound like a bad thing, no, I'm just
kidding. No, not at all. So, right on. That's cool.
Yeah. It's all about representation.
It is.
Because I do think we do see like a lot of the similar body types or people or gender. So it's awesome to like see that expansion, like seeing more representation. And like I love when men come to my classes and like, right on, like, you know, you want to like get into your body, like that's all that it's about. It's not about looking cool, like you left your ego down at the door, and
it's all good.
Awesome.
It's all good. And your brother, he's a football player, right? Just got signed with the Raiders, by the way. If you didn't know that, I'm dropping knowledge to you.
Well, it's so funny too because
he's a Raider.
He was on the Cowboys.
Right.
And now he's on the Raiders, but it's like, I feel like people usually like hate, like they're like super haters on both of those teams. Like,
really? True.
You either love them or you hate. Like, you know, like you see the, like, I don't know, like the Cardinals or something, like people aren't like, oh, like I hate the Cardinals, but you'll see people like, I hate the Raiders, or like any team but the Raiders, or any team but the Cowboys.
That's true.
Which is crazy. Yes. Like huge teams, but I'm so excited that he's in the Bay because he's closer, so that means lots more.
And it's just meant to be, you know. Like he went to school at San Jose State.
He
killed it in the Bay.
Yeah,
he did his thing, and now it's like coming home. It's like welcome home.
Yeah, I think he's so excited. Like, and he's closer to his daughter, so it's like
and the family.
Yeah,
he's gonna be with Coach Gruden.
Yeah, my mom's gonna be at every game.
I'm sure. I don't doubt it.
His college games, she was at all of them. So now that he's close,
I would be at every single game too.
Yeah.
If your mom needs a ride, let her. Hit me up. I can drive her. I can Uber her.
We can take
That's awesome. So your brother does yoga.
Yeah.
Right. Has he always been into yoga, or is that something that you introduced, or his team with the Cowboys, or San Jose State?
He hasn't always done it. So like this is something that's new. I'm trying to think how he got started, because I think he was doing it like at their facility or in Texas.
Right.
And he noticed and he was doing hot yoga. And then he actually introduced me to this yogi. Her name is Bella.
Mm-hmm.
And she does like a lot of yoga with the NFL athletes. And so she was like trying to get to do yoga with him. And he was like, oh, my sister does yoga, like linked us. And she actually put me on a lot of like info with working with athletes in particular, and because how their bodies are different. So like
Totally.
So then I think once like she was trying to like get on him to do privates, he was like, well, I might as well do stuff when I come home,
Right.
and do it with you. And it's like he'll pay me, but I'm always like, I don't want you to pay me. And
Right.
like I'm like, I would do this
love.
for free.
Yeah,
like,
this is love right
And then
here.
he'll like Venmo, you could just send the money without
Just
requesting
drops it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh God, thank you. Well, whatever.
Of course,
but,
yeah.
So yeah, like we just started doing it, and he will like when he was in Texas, he would go do it there. But
Right. When I first got into to teaching yoga, I was an athlete, and I was always really inspired to like one day teach yoga to athletes.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, it's kind of different because like they're not yogis, and they work out, and we're not trained to like work with like
Right.
athletes that
Right.
have tight hips, big
Right.
muscles.
Right.
Has there like been any challenge working with Keith and his body, or is it's just naturally flexible?
Yeah. Surprisingly, he's really flexible.
Right.
Like Pigeon, he
Got it down.
I mean, he's not all the way down to the floor, but he's, like some people can't even get into it. Like they have to do reverse.
Right.
He gets into it. Like he's really flexible. He has no problem doing Malasana, which is crazy. And
Right.
like, those are like key things that like stiff people can't do, or
Yes.
big people who work out
Yes.
can't do.
Yes.
But I am learning on how to like work with because like he has these big old like shoulders.
Tank. He's a
yeah.
tank. Keith
like,
Smith, everyone, look it up on Instagram.
Yeah.
The guy,
Beef31.
Beef31.
He won a good time too. He's just funny.
Yeah, he is like he's a rock.
Yeah, but like, so just like understanding like how the muscles, because the muscles look different. Like it looks like he looks like he's doing this, but his shoulders are down because his
Right.
muscles are just so like. So just in learning that, and then being careful with his injuries.
Mm-hmm.
He had a growing injury last season. So, but and those are things that we're conscious of in
Right.
our normal classes. So.
Right.
But they do get, they're more prone to like different injuries or different things. So like knowing things to really focus on and work on that are important for like the different positions and like
Mm-hmm.
where, because if they're, I don't know, like a linebacker, they're tackling more, so they probably need different stretching or like different focuses than like a wide receiver who's like, just doing different stuff, or a quarterback. So, yeah, like that has been something that which the girl Bella, she like always like puts me on good info and like helps
Right.
me out, because she's been doing it for so long and has worked with so many different
Yeah, she knows her bodies now. That's her specialty.
Yeah, and that's what she's always anatomy. It is a lot anatomy.
For sure, yeah.
Whereas like you go into regular class, sometimes the
Asana,
anatomy is
asana.
not necessarily
Yeah.
the full focus.
Mhm.
And I do try to like put in like the philosophy in there and
Mhm.
like give like inspiration, but it's
Sure.
maybe not as like
Not as much.
as like
Right.
a class. And it's because we're it's a private, we're focused. But I do try to throw it in there, give the essential oils and
Right.
all that.
Give them that
the
experience.
music, do like the music and stuff
Yeah.
to meet, because then maybe eventually he'll be more interested in hearing the stuff that I'm saying and
Right.
whatnot.
Slowly brainwash it.
Exactly. Just
Keith,
ease
homie.
it on him.
Yoga is gonna take your game that much further, bro.
Yeah.
Real spit.
Yeah.
I'm sure he already knows that.
No, yeah, and I think that's why he keeps coming back. 'Cause
Right.
He knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he wants that longevity, he
I'm
has to-
real excited for him and his career. I'm excited for you guys as a family.
Yeah.
I'm a Raider fan, like I've told you, and so like my heart beams like with excitement just to like have that extra person that I can just root on,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And he's a beast,
Yeah.
and he's gonna do really well. And then we're going to Vegas,
Yeah, which
right?
I have mixed
Really?
feelings about that.
Okay, let's see. I want to hear about
Because
that.
I just feel like, would you rather be in the Bay or would you rather be in Vegas? I would rather be in the Bay.
Okay.
And I just feel like the Vegas can be very distracting to their players.
True.
And there's really nothing there but the Vegas week. I mean,
True.
there is, but they're going to be right immersed in all of that.
Yeah,
so
for
it's
sure.
going to be interesting to see how they stay away from those distractions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it could be kind of bad for them.
It
Because
could be,
they're
yeah.
already reckless. Like,
Right.
But put them in Vegas?
Right. I think they'll handle their own. I think they'll be responsible.
We'll see. Maybe the vets, but we'll see. We'll see. We shall see.
Yeah,
but
we
I
shall
mean,
see.
and I just feel like the Bay is like the Bay.
True,
Like, I like
I
the Bay
agree.
way more.
Yeah, I agree.
But I would rather go
Um,
visit the Bay than go to Vegas and visit him. But
Got
it's
you.
okay.
So speaking from a fan, you know, I became a fan when they were LA Raiders,
Okay.
and then when they moved to Oakland, obviously Oakland Raiders,
Yeah.
right? And so I have that affinity for the Bay too. I love going to the games at the Bay. Like, it's an awesome
Yeah.
experience there. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But that's also like 8 hours away from LA. You know what I'm saying? So
Which-
as a fan coming to Vegas,
Yeah.
I'm like, 3.5 hours in Vegas on a Sunday.
Yeah. Which that is
Down. Sign me up.
That is the best part. But like now I feel like the flights to the Bay are like so cheap.
Right.
So it's
True.
almost like you can do. But I do agree that the distance is really, really nice.
It's key, right?
Yeah.
Like I'll swoop you up.
Yeah,
We'll just drive
just
down.
drive.
We'll
It's
drive down real
super
quick and come back.
Yeah. So that is true. Which that's like the game is all that matters really.
True.
So it doesn't really matter what's surrounding. But,
Exactly.
But we'll see. It'll be.
Right
it'll
on.
be. I mean, we still have time
We have time.
because it's like what
Plant the seed.
this season, next season, or
I think they're coming in 2019.
Oh,
I believe
okay.
so, yeah.
So the next season.
Yeah, exactly. I think they have one more year in the Bay, and then Vegas.
Well, then that's
Yeah.
cool.
So what with obviously you teach Keith yoga. Has it led to you teaching like any other athletes? Is that the path that maybe you want to go and focus on, like the homegirl? What's her name?
Bella.
Bella.
Well, okay, I have to reel myself in sometimes because I get so many ideas. Like I feel like I'm so passionate about things. I'm
Right.
like, I want to do.
I'm gonna do this.
I want a
this,
prenatal and then mom and baby, but I want to do the kids.
this. Right.
But I definitely think it is something that I see myself doing, and you know I'm more than happy for him to like put me on all his teammates and stuff and
Right.
like his friends,
Right.
because I do think it's important, like I said, to give that to them and bring them to yoga, and then
Mhm.
maybe like they'll explore it more on their own time.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's all in due time. Like I know my plate is so full right now with the kids and school and trying to teach and just trying to figure my life out.
Right.
That it's something that I don't want to. I think I don't want to start something until I can start it right. And like I don't want to like start like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and then not be able to like to provide what's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But on a small scale, like definitely, I would definitely love to like keep it like small and have like maybe 5 guys.
Yeah. Why
Which
not?
would be cool, just to
Fly
start.
out to the Bay.
Yeah,
Do
get out there.
Maybe like the day before game day, like a Saturday, and do a morning yoga session.
Yeah, which would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, start small and
Yeah.
then think big.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hopefully that works out for you. I don't see why it wouldn't.
Yeah, no, well,
You just gotta put your heart into it, and obviously everything is in due timing.
exactly.
You have 2 kids. You have
Yeah.
2 beautiful kids.
Yes. 2
What
boys.
is that like, being a single mom and going to school full time as soon to be an RN,
Yes.
right? And holding your plate down with everything else that you've got. How is that like being away from yoga and teaching yoga and having your kids and this busy schedule?
Yeah, so it is hard because my practice definitely is sacrificed a lot because I'm tired. And I'm like, do I want to go to sleep or do I want to practice yoga? Like, technically, sleeping is yoga. Like, so I'm just going to go to sleep, you know? And so,
Shavasana
like,
for next
Shavasana
6 hours.
for 8 hours if possible.
Why not?
But I definitely, like, that's the one thing that I wish I had more of, was the ability to, like, get to classes more.
Mm-hmm.
But I also it also is helping me to try to be more disciplined in, like, practicing on my own at home.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's always been something that I've struggled with. But it pushes me more to, like, stay practicing and stay exploring at home, like, on my own without having someone to, like, guide me.
Mm-hmm. Is that easy for you?
Oh, no, that's hard.
It's challenging.
To practice at home?
Yeah.
I get so distracted.
Right?
It's so hard.
Do you do,
It's
like,
so hard.
do you do, like, the YouTube videos?
Yeah,
or
well,
you
like,
just do it on your own? You
I
guide yourself
had
through
Yoga Glow for a while, but
Mhm.
then I think I paid $22 for, like, 5 months and maybe used it once.
Ah.
So, like, I was like, I need to cancel this expense. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
So I will just do stuff on my own and kind of just flow and go with, like, what my body is, like, feeling like. Like, I'll
Right.
just start doing stuff and, like, whatever I feel like I need.
Right.
But it's hard because, like, my phone's right there,
Yeah.
and there's no one to, like, score me if I go and check my phone.
Right.
And then I'm...
You gotta get that. You
know,
gotta get that video for the gram too.
Yeah, exactly. Then I'm like, okay, what can I post? Like, can I... And then I'm like, okay, let me just get this picture real quick. And then, oh my gosh, my leg is hurting, but no one's here to tell me to just push through for 3 more breaths.
Right.
So I'm like, you know,
Just
cheating
get
in
it
the
out.
poses.
Yeah, or get out of it.
Oh, it's so hard,
Yeah,
but
yeah, it
that's
is
like
hard.
the most important. I think
It
that's
is.
like gonna be like the greatest lesson, is how to just, like, stay there and stick it out, even, like, just by myself. Like, no
Mhm.
one is there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, I usually try to do it when the kids are asleep, because if they're up, they're,
There's no way.
oh my gosh, they're
on
like
your
in
mat,
between
on
my
your
legs,
back, for sure.
which is also like a cool experience.
Yes.
Because they want to do it too, so, like, they're learning, and it's so cute when, like, I'll just see them like, oh, Mom, look, I'm doing yoga, or
Yes.
I really try to teach them, like, okay, when they're upset, take big breaths.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when they're upset and they're like,
Right.
I'm like, okay, like, well, I'm doing something right. Like, I'm,
Right.
you know, if
Take a
I'm
breath.
not doing
Sit down,
anything
chill out.
right, like, I'm giving this to them at an early
Yes,
age.
at an early age.
And they're, like, interested in it, and they want to learn, and they want to do it, and they, like, think it's cool, and they
Right.
love to own, and, like, so I think it's just, like, it's just part of the journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll have the time when I'm older and they're out the house to, like, go to yoga every day.
Exactly.
And
True.
we've just kind of, like, gone on some kind of schedule with their dad, so they've been going and seeing their dad here and there. So, like, the past, like, 3 days they've been gone, I've been at yoga every single day,
Nice.
and it's been, like, so amazing. So
Yes.
it's like I have something to look forward to, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah, so you have a good balance. That's good.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's challenging for sure. I understand that, like, practicing at home. You know, I'm on spring break right now, and
You're like, I don't want to do
I woke up at 6 a.m. this morning, and I haven't done yoga yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know the mat's right there, but it's like I kind of struggle because, like, oh, I got to do this. I haven't had the opportunity to do that, this and this and that. I could use the time to do this, you know.
Yeah.
And then boom, time is gone, and I haven't
Yeah.
practiced, you know. So, or I get in the mat, like you said, distractions.
It's way too easy.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Instagram. Let's talk about that a little bit. Yoga has, like, definitely, like, you know, Instagram has really, like, helped a lot of people in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of, like, exposure, money,
Yeah.
promotions, gigs, travel, you name it. And I know you're an active user, and you're
I am.
and you're pretty out there, which is dope. Like, I love following your story and seeing you in the car, like jam out to, like, some Stevie Wonder. I'm like jamming with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Some
When you walked in, you heard my music,
Yeah,
Right?
that sounds like, yes, this is
Right.
the perfect station.
right? So yeah, like, what's your I don't know, I guess overall take on Instagram within yoga? Let's keep in that
okay.
context. You know.
It definitely has been great, because it definitely, like, I do my videos and then people are like, I want to come to class. So, like, the exposure is great, But sometimes this is where I have the mixed feelings. Is I hate to have that feeling like I have to post,
right,
or like I'm doing something for like people, like for the exposure. Like I don't want that. Like I want to just inspire people being me, and like I don't want to have to like put on a face or like be like, okay, I need to get this perfect shot or like stuff. And when I begin to feel that way, or if I'm like looking at other yoga pages, I'm like, dang, like I can't do that, or like I can't do this, or trying to compare, then it's like I don't like it, and I'll like retreat.
But we go there.
We do.
It's so easy, right? Just to like click, and you're like in this different world, right?
I have to take breaks. I sometimes I'll be like, okay, it'll be like a few days and I won't post, or like I'll literally just shut it all down and like take a month or something off.
Right.
And it feels so good to be away, because I think we get so lost in it, and it's like, so you wake up and then check your Instagram, or like we're gotta get the picture for Instagram, and like, okay, I'm gonna post this in my class, and it's like it just sometimes takes away from being in that moment. And so like I think obviously it's more positive than negative, but I think it's also important to like be aware and like not the compare game is like the main thing, but it's so hard to like to not do, because it's just at this swipe of our finger, like it's right there, and we see it every single time. So
I remember when I first started on Instagram. I created my own yoga page dedicated to like really just my journey initially. I just wanted to personally see my progress and document it, and then if anyone followed along the way, great, but it's not really a big deal, it kind of led to like, I guess, some like friends, like followers, I guess what to say, not too crazy, know. And then I started noticing it, like myself, like doing it for the posts, instead of like what my initial reason was for, and so like I began like to like, my big thing is arm balances. You know what I mean?
Still working on it.
Yeah, like that's what I fell in love with.
Challenging.
Yeah, the challenge, because I came from working out, like hitting weights, and now I'm not lifting weights anymore. I'm holding my body weight, which is dope, And I told this story before on another conversation with DeAndre that I got injured doing a fingertip crow for the picture.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I fractured like the pinky side bone right here. I forget what it's called. Or and so then I was in a cast for like 3 months. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Well,
right.
And it makes sense though, because sometimes when I'm like, okay, I need to post a picture so I can promote my class, I'll just do a pose without warming up.
Exactly.
And then you have like,
because you can get that picture real quick and post it real quick.
Exactly. And then I usually use my timer, so it's like 10 seconds to get into the pose.
Yeah.
And like some of them, it's like, how can you even do that? First of all, you have to press the button and then go to your mat and then get in the pose. It's like,
well, a lot of them, I think you can have the
clickers.
The clickers, or a lot of them, they're just like, they have photographers rolling with them, know? The quality of the pictures are so dope,
I did a photographer, like a professional photographer, like took some yoga pictures. And I was like, I like my just phone pictures a little better, just,
in the moment.
Yeah. Because a lot of times I just feel inspired, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna turn my phone on and just like flow and then post it. Right. And I love like incorporating like dancing into my flows, because I just love like bringing the movement and I mean, obviously yoga's movement, but like that fluid movement.
Yeah. So, I love that. I love your videos when you're like dancing at United. You're like rocking out and like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Someone just told me,
I want to take that class.
He was like, every time you I see your story post, he's like, I think it's like MTV, you're over there like dancing or like singing some song, but I'm like, I just get so inspired by the music.
You're just in the moment. You're in the moment and you're vibing out.
And then sometimes like, oh my gosh, people probably think I'm just so crazy posting all this stuff. But
who
then
cares?
I don't care. But then it's like, I get these reminders because I have so many like awesome people who like you're like inspiring me, like, you know,
Yeah.
I have like 2 kids and like you do it all, or like
Absolutely.
all of these things, and I'm like, okay, like
That's
okay.
what you do it for.
So
That
me
person right there.
yeah, and those are the reminders why, like, it is like important to like just be me and show my face
Just
and
be
do that,
you.
and like not, and it is nice to retreat and do that, but people are watching, and that's the pro of having social media,
Right.
because I mean, I do that to so many people. I'm like, man, I look up to her, like,
Right.
so awesome,
Which
or
is
whatever.
fine. Yeah, which is fine. Inspiration. But
Yeah.
yeah, like it shouldn't get you to the point where
And
it's
feel
like messing
insecure.
up your
Mhm.
your
Yeah.
well-being,
Yeah.
you know. So the lesson is to be yourself.
Exactly.
Be you.
And that's why I'm like, I always think, I'm like, even because I've taken like professional pictures and I'll post them and stuff, and sometimes I'm like, I remember when my first Instagram picture was like of my couch and my ex-boyfriend's arm,
Right.
like random
Sure.
stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
The grade of the picture, the quality was like so grainy,
Right.
or it'll be like some like blurry picture.
Right.
You know, now it's like sometimes it's like it gets tiring of just seeing like the professional pictures, and it's
True.
like, is this really you? Like,
Yeah.
how this is set up?
Yeah.
You know, like,
It is, and well, and some of them is purposeful, you know, because they're getting sponsorships or they're getting paid, so they have to
Exactly.
keep it at a
It's
professional
their
level.
job.
It's their job, you know.
but then it's like
They're getting
it takes
paid
the
ends
fun
to
out
do
of
it. Yeah, too.
So then
For you
it's-
and I, yeah.
yeah.
For
So
sure.
then it transitions.
Yeah.
I always wonder. I'm like, I wonder if Instagram's gonna fade out because of that, or like how this will transit. How long will this be a thing?
Right.
I mean, it's been a while.
It's been a while. It is strong.
I had
It's still
Instagram in
strong.
2010.
8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was, no one had it. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
that's right.
to
right.
see how it
Especially the yoga
transitioned-
game in the yoga world, right?
Yeah, I'm like, to see how it's transitioned is crazy.
Crazy. Yeah.
So I'm just like, I wonder how it's gonna.
Yeah. Going back to what you said about like the picture with your ex-boyfriend's arm, like after I got injured, it really humbled me. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, I'm doing this for the wrong reasons, right?
Yeah.
I'm not even doing it for my initial purpose, right? But I quit. I just gave up on it. I didn't quit. I just kind of took a break and I just kind of posted here and there. And then now it's non-existent. you
Yeah,
know?
I haven't seen a post from you.
A long time.
So, yeah.
A long time. A long
Yeah.
time. Yeah. Are you talking about my yoga page or my personal one? Because I have two of them.
Oh, I'm.
All right, so it's your-
I'll go follow.
You have to follow. You have to find it. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. You have to go find it.
Oh, I'll find it.
But it's been inactive. I still have access to it, and I still check my messages here and there once in a blue moon. But like as we're talking about it right now, like I miss it. Like in the sense that I don't have those memories I don't remember the last time. How long? I don't remember how long ago it was when I broke my wrist. I think 3 years ago. I don't remember. It was. I remember going to one of Michelle's classes at the outdoor hotel area in Claremont.
Oh yeah.
And for 3 months, I was practicing on my forearms in a cast.
You were still. Oh my god.
I was still practicing. Yeah, there's no way you can't take me away from yoga.
I know, but that's so fun.
And I was doing
Oh my gosh, and you were
like
still
forearm
doing
planks. I was doing forearm down dogs. You know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And yeah, it would have been cool like if I documented that and I looked back on it and had that. But I don't think that have been after I broke it. That was
Probably.
it. You know, I haven't
Yeah.
posted really since.
Maybe you'll find your way back.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Because I do think,
But I have my issues with it. You know, like
so it is like you trying to find that balance, because I'm sure people did watch your story and watch your growth and were inspired by that. So like, you know, maybe come back and it's like a lesson, and you know your boundaries, and like you know when to check in, like you know when to pull back, when to go more.
Finding that right balance.
Yeah.
That's yoga right there, right?
Yeah.
Finding
That's why I'm like, it's so important. Like yoga, seriously. People always ask me like, how do I stay happy? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, yes, like how do I stay smiling? Let's say, and how do I do all of this?
The
in,
kids,
like,
the school,
and not like be crazy. And it's seriously
the yoga.
because it puts my
Straight up.
my mind is in just a different place. Like
Mhm.
I literally think of things just don't have that same effect on me as they did before, and that's why like literally it saved me, because I would be probably a wreck. Like seriously.
I think I'd probably be right there with you, like serious wreck.
Yeah, I'm like, I like Santosha is like one of my favorite things, like contentment.
Mhm.
Like it just helps me just be here and not worry about anything else,
Mm-hmm.
and know what's important and accept things that I wish didn't happen or weren't happening, and just accept it as it is and learn whatever lesson is being taught to me there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like how I make it.
That's awesome, Santosha.
Yeah.
And that's how I live too, right? I mean, I can't imagine having anything else. Like people, like I have a friend that takes like sleeping pills, you know, and I have a friend that drinks to handle his issues,
Yep.
you know.
And yeah.
I have like friends that are depressed, and they can't find a way out of it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I'm like,
It's so simple.
dedicate yourself to some yoga, man. Like real spit, like dedicate a serious amount of time to some yoga, and you might be able to sleep at night.
Yeah. Yeah, for
And
sure.
You probably won't have to drink your sorrows
So
away.
much, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you might be a happier person.
Yep.
Good for us,
yes,
right?
We're have the key to life, like
Seriously.
it's like- and I hate to be like that person. I'm like, oh, yoga.
But it's true.
But it's true. Like, there's
Yeah.
a reason why. I'm not just saying it for like to just talk out of my ass and like try to get people on the next
Right.
fad.
Yeah. That's kind of like one of my hopes and goals and dreams of this, like, you know, talking about with bringing back Instagram here, and then this video, you know, is to like people have stories to tell.
Yeah.
People have ways of dealing with life and navigating through life through yoga,
Yeah.
you know, and so hopefully it inspires other people out there to be like, yeah, I need to put down that
Yeah.
white pill at night, or you know, whatever it is, you know,
Yeah,
and
whatever
then
your
tap
advice,
into
whatever
yeah,
your advice is. So there's so
So
we
many.
have so many. Everyone has
whatever it is,
something. It's
something,
like
yeah, or your schedule is
bad
busy.
habits, like
Yeah.
those toxic. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
it's awesome. You're doing something great.
Thank you. Yeah, likewise. Yeah, and that's everyone in the yoga world.
Yeah,
Like everyone,
yeah,
just a bunch of like positive, like call us hippies, call us whatever you want, like, but there's some good people in the yoga world, like solid. So thanks for joining us today and like sharing your story and all that. For all the people out there that are inspired by you and are interested in hearing more about you, or maybe even like hooking up with you for some yoga, where can they find you?
So I have Instagram, Jordan Olivia S _, and then I also have a website, sincerelyjordanolivia.com, and that's where I have like my blog, my services, so you can kind of like get to know me more. And then, you know, like my Instagram, like my daily rants, or my daily car driving, dancing to music, whatever. Either you can contact me because I'll respond. So
Right on.
and then I'm teaching at a United Yoga in San Dimas, and so I have a couple workshops coming up there. But yeah, like, just I feel like you can stay most updated with where I'm at on Instagram
For sure. Jam out to some Stevie Wonder for sure.
because I'll always be posting my classes there, or like if I'm done
you do,
teaching, or you know, so that's probably because even on my website I have like a calendar, but I don't update it that much because it's like my blog is only when I feel
That's right. You're working on that.
and that's one of those things, like I have a block there, and I have to, like, when I get over my block, then I'm like, I write, but I get kind of insecure, so
Right.
yeah,
Instagram it is.
Instagram it is.
Right on. Well, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. It was awesome hearing your story and getting to know you and just vibing out.
Yeah.
Mad love.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.